Hi and welcome. I'm author Grace Wroldson. Are you forced to co parent with a narcissist? Are you stuck in a high conflict custody battle? Welcome to my work. I'm a mom survivor and I help moms keep their sanity and navigate the narcissist. I help them improve their co parenting conditions and enjoy their children's one and only childhood. We put a lot of buffers, boundaries, firewalls in place. We do our due diligence with documentation and we create goodwill and peace for ourselves so that our children and we can thrive. So, welcome to my work. If you don't know me, I have a YouTube channel. Now I have a Spotify podcast, Navigate the Narcissist. I also have a website with blogs and articles and 5 books available on Amazon. I'm a self published author. So if you are dealing with a nasty narcissist, pick up some of my books and learn from my survivor wisdom. They're full of tips, tools, and strategies. And if you are willing and ready to learn, I am here to teach. So the first phase of a transformation is like a rebellion. So if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired or dealing with post separation abuse and you want to stop being the target of blame and you want to move on with your life, I have some tools and strategies and methods that I've been teaching my private mom clients. My past is loving an alcoholic and leaving an alcoholic. And then I fought on the front lines of family court for 12 years for our only child. So my story is it goes up and down. I lost some to win some, and then I won all my rights back, and then I eventually negotiated with the narcissist using what I call skillful means because I wanted peace. And in peace, we thrive. And when we're in war, it's simply about surviving. So I wanted to get out of the war. These are my helpful tips based solely on my thoughts and opinions. I'm not a therapist or lawyer or professional of the family court, so I can't give you any advice. But what I can do is share my story and what worked for me. It may not work for you, but you can probably glean some insights and pull apart some wisdom and some principles that I applied that were very effective. Take what you like, what's helpful, what's validating, and leave the rest. My first book for moms is Co-Parenting with a Narcissist, 7 Self Rules to Stay Sane, a survivor story. And those are 7 rules plus a bonus 8 if you need to stage a comeback. That first orange yellow book with the daffodil is available on Amazon, print, Kindle, and Audible. If you get the print or Kindle, it has the new Get the Right Lawyer Guide as a bonus. My second book is How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win. Super Smart Strategies for Success. It's the red book. Sometimes we only find peace on the other side of war. Sometimes there are just wars to be fought. For caring empaths like us, we are not prone to fighting or wanting to fight. We want peace, but we have to learn to be warriors of peace and peaceful warriors. So you can pick up that second book. My third book is Co-Parenting with a Sociopath, Survival and Sanity Guide, and it can really be helpful. But if you are in a crisis situation, please get DV counseling, domestic violence counseling and support from a local agency if there are some serious threats to safety. And my fourth book is How to Survive a Custody Battle When the Family Courts Force You to Co-Parent. Be willing to learn the lesson, and you can learn, heal, and outgrow the narcissist. And you can change what you can and focus on that. These are all available on Amazon. The first book is updated for 2024, tells you how I won everything I wanted in negotiations from my narcissistic ex. And it has that bonus chapter of the Get the Right Lawyer Guide because I'm not a lawyer, but you could do free legal consultations and get your burning legal questions answered by a lawyer, a family law lawyer, and really empower yourself with getting either legal advice or asking lawyers the questions that you have for social media. You want to be asking lawyers who know your judge. And there's so many reasons why. If you check out my blog, I have 11 reasons why you'd want to be doing these. It's a strategy. You want to be one step ahead of the narcissist. And if you are talking to the top family law lawyers and doing consultations, I don't think they can take the narcissist. It's a conflict of interest if you are already consulting with them. So be smart about your case. My Tame the Narcissist 10 Keys for Better Co Parenting to Create Peace and Protection Using Strategy and Skillful Means is now on Amazon Print and Kindle. So, this is after a 12-year family court battle with a narcissist who was abusive. I call it co parenting abuse. Legal abuse, post separation abuse, abuse by proxy. I was falsely accused of so many things. I actually endured 7 months of co parenting therapy, court ordered, and aced it, made him want to quit because he was being exposed. Learn from that article blog. It's probably in one of these books, the last two. All the blogs are in the books. So everything that I went through, everything that I learned, and the tips, tools, and strategies are in these books of mine. I have a Document the Narcissist. You can buy it as an article on my website standalone or pick it up in the new book, Tame the Narcissist. Learn about documenting strategically. I have so many mom clients who are overwhelmed by documenting everything, and the judge doesn't care about everything. And you need to know what is important in your case. And once somebody sits down and hears all the pieces of your case, they can tell you the 10 things that are important, then narrow it down to 5, and then narrow it down to even 3, and then find a system of documenting those 3 to 5 super important things to pick out a narcissist pattern of behavior to expose him later. If you have numbered, labeled lists and accurate details and data and evidence, you can just scare off the narcissist completely with what I call your big red binder. So learn from my last 2 books, book 4 and book 5, of how to prepare for family court. Even if you're not in a court battle, this can scare them off if you are very prepared. It's about being knowledgeable because knowledge is power, and being prepared because being prepared is also power. So, do you know what to document when dealing with a narcissist? Do you know how to document when dealing with a narcissist? Well, I say document strategically, really think through your case, sit down, go over it with someone who knows narcissists, who knows family court. Best to do it with a lawyer, but not all lawyers are available, and maybe you can't afford them. I have another part of that book, Tame the Narcissist, about healing from narcissistic abuse. We have to do our healing work. Self work is some of the most important work we will ever do. It not only indirectly affects our children, our healing directly affects our children. I can't tell you how many unhealed moms call for coaching that don't have lawyers, and they sound so much in pain, shame, guilt, fear that they sound toxic. We don't want to be toxic to our children. We want to be able to let things go. So I almost had to ask one of these moms, is this the hill you want to die on? I mean, a coach asked me that, like, get out of the weeds with the narcissist, get out of the mud with the narcissist. Don't be pulled in or pulled down, stay above it and do your healing work so that you're not highly triggered. You can be emotionally sober, because one of the key things that a narcissist will do to the target of blame, is to emotionally destabilize the target to effectively win and neutralize their threat. Now, we can learn to be a non-threat threat, which I talk about in my last book, where you can learn about creating leverage and learn about what matters to the narcissist, really think it through, learn what narcissistic supply is. I also have a gray walling the narcissist. You can read this in a blog, see it on my YouTube video channel. Learning how to block out the narcissist, like you're castling off your soul. Castle that off, put the walls up, have the guards at the gate. Really make these concrete and thick. You don't want to be giving the enemy outside of the walls information about how you are forming your defenses inside. and creating an offense, which is what I teach about in my 3-part strategy. I really encourage you to pick up books 1 through 5, read them in order, get your highlighter, your notes, and start thinking about shifting your mind into how are you going to overcome this and come out stronger and smarter than before if you're dealing with a narcissist. Come on over to my website. Remember to subscribe to this podcast or like this video. If you're listening and you're learning, you can learn, heal, and outgrow the narcissist. And you can learn and journey with me as I made a lot of mistakes. You don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. You can learn from my mistakes and spare your kids some grief and stress. You can also learn how to lead your lawyer and create strategies to use your lawyer, who then creates a strategy. So, one strategy is this 20 wants list. It's a power tool. It's on my website, it's in my books. We really do need to sit down and think about what are the solutions versus coming to people with our problems, because a narcissist will create a plethora of problems, and we have to be focused on solution, just like I talk about focusing on peace to create peace. You can subscribe to my free Substack newsletter. Yes, you can donate or you to me as a writer and author, or you could just get the free email newsletter, which has a free podcast on Substack, or use the Spotify podcast. You need to understand the narcissist has many tricks, many tactics, and many traps, and they can manipulate. But we need skills. We need to establish self rules with us, with ourselves, and create strategies, multiple strategies. And this is how we are going to get solutions, is putting these strategies and pillars and principles in place, and we walk between these pillars that we put in place, and we keep our focus on ourself, our healing, and our children, and what really matters. And our love for our children or child needs to be bigger than our hate for the narcissist. So if you're ready to learn and you're willing to listen, you can learn, heal, and grow through this, and you can get solutions for your sanity. Your sanity is the key to this. It is insane dealing with a crazy person. They do crazy making. You can feel like you're going crazy dealing with the narcissist insanity, the drama, trauma, chaos. He kicks up. That's where he thrives. If you're a mom co-parenting with a narcissistic dad, the other way around, if you're a dad co-parenting with a narcissistic woman, they love that drama, and we do not thrive in that. We barely survive it. So peace is where we thrive, and that is our goal. Pick up my Navigate the Narcissist co-parenting video course. It has 11 videos. You can learn, you can sit back, you can think about where you're going to get support for this, because to maintain emotional sobriety and be emotionally stable, we do need support people. We need people to vent to, people to strategize with, people to represent our interests and empower us. So there's going to be a team of support that we need to create. And that's in my first yellow book. It talks about creating a team of 10. Do you have a list of 10 people you can call? Are you in a program of recovery like Al Anon, CODA, Pendants Anonymous, or ACOA? Any of those 12-step programs where you have a foundation of sanity and recovery tools that you can apply to living your life post the narcissist, after a toxic, abusive, betrayal, or lying narcissist. We need support. We need a foundation. So please find those support people and find a strategy partner that knows narcissists. If you're dealing with a narcissist, you're going to need strategies. And you'll need several strategies. You'll need a documentation strategy, a support strategy, a legal strategy, a defense strategy, an offense strategy, a parenting strategy, a communication strategy. These all need to be put in place. If you're one step ahead and you've got strategies in place, and he starts making disparaging remarks and you have a documentation system for that, and you're not um, sending anything back, you are writing as if you're writing to a judge, you're denying false allegations in one sentence, you're not getting down in the mud, you're not defending, oversharing, justifying, explaining, trying to fix, change, rescue the narcissist, and you've got these self rules created with yourself, you don't have to fall into those traps and be tricked. So I encourage you to pick up my Get the Right Lawyer guide and use my 20-question attorney interview worksheet. But read that guide first. Understand what's at stake, where the battle usually is fought, which is either through email and text or on the family court stage. The narcissist loves attention. Sometimes even negative attention will do. And often our child custody case is only as good as our attorney. So we can empower ourselves by obtaining strong, solid legal representation, or at least getting free or paid legal consultations for guidance. There's even websites that will let you talk directly through a chat with lawyers for like almost what was it, $60 a month. There are ways to get legal guidance. And when I couldn't get to my lawyer, I hired coaches myself. So now I am a coach for moms in custody battles or co-parenting with their former ex-narcissist. But I found them. They wrote books. I read their books. Knowledge and preparedness are power. So get prepared. Educate yourself on what narcissistic supply is. Find this team that is going to help support you to keep you emotionally standing and stable and sane through the narcissist insanity. And we'll see you in the next video or on the next podcast. Look for all my work, because moms who are able to digest the material and understand the tug of war and understand what they're up against and what they need to put in place become immune to the narcissist attacks. And then the children become immune to the narcissist attacks. And we can live in truth and sanity, and they could live in their lies and their dysfunction, because we can't get disorder. We cannot get order from a disordered personality, disordered person. And that needs to be what you understand at the basic level, what you are dealing with, who you are dealing with, and then come to know yourself and what you need to thrive and what your children need to survive their childhood, be not abused, less exposed to an abuser, not dependent upon a personality disordered person for money or resources or empathy or things. We're not putting our children in harm's way trying to get going into the hardware store for bread when we go to the narcissist for help. They're takers, not sharers, and we need to understand the basics. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope this introduction to my podcast is helpful. That's a basic synopsis of my work, and I do one-to-one private sessions. You can find that on my website, www.gracewroldson.com. That's GraceWroldson.com. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, if you're listening on the podcast, to subscribe to get all notifications of my next video or next podcast with tips, tools, and strategies.